विष्णुपादादिकेशान्तस्तोत्रं श्लोक 12 यस्मादाक्रामतो द्यां गरुडमणिशिलाकेतुदण्डायमानात् आश्च्योतन्ती बभासे सुरसरिदमला वैजयन्तीव कान्ता भूमिष्ठो यस्तथान्यो भुवनगृहबृहत्स्तम्भशोभां दधौ नः पाताम् एतौ पयोजोदरललिततलौ पङ्कजाक्षस्य पादौ. पदच्छेदः and अन्वयः. द्याम् आक्रामतः गरुडमणिशिला केतुदण्डायमानात् यस्मात् आश्च्योतन्ती सुरसरित् अमला कान्ता वैजयन्ती इव बभासे तथा भूमिष्ठः अन्यः यः भुवनगृहबृहत्स्तम्भ शोभां दधौ एतौ पयोजोदरललिततलौ पङ्कजाक्षस्य पादौ नः पाताम्. Now प्रतिपदार्थः. द्याम् आक्रामतः. द्याम् means swarga or the heavens. Akramatah is being occupied and taken over. So here the Vamana Avatara and subsequently Trivikrama Avatara of Lord Vishnu is described by implication. Since feet spanned all the regions, Bhagavad Pada starts the description with the feet, which is occupying first the heavenly regions. Then Garuda Manishila Ketu Dandayamanat, that which appears like the flagstaff of Indranila Mani, that is that leg which was extending from the earth and occupying the heavens. That leg looks like Garuda Manishila, means Indranila Mani, which in English they say is the dark blue sapphire precious gemstone. Then Ketu Dandayamanat means like the flagstaff. Ketu means dhwaja, flag, and danda is the staff or pole, flag pole. Yasmat, from that foot, achyotanti, flowing all around is, now look at this word achyotanti. It is constructed with a upasarga plus chutir. Chutir ksharani. So ksharana means to flow or to fall and trickle. And then a upasarga gives the meaning of all around. So ashchotanti gives the meaning of the water which is flowing all around from that height. So then what is flowing all around? Surasarit, the divine celestial river Ganges. And that Ganges river is Amala, pure, Kanta, shining, Babhase, brightly shining. That's the appearance. And then it looks like, that whole picture looks like Vaijayanti Iva, like the flag known as Vaijayanti. The leg is the pole of the flag and this river flowing out of the leg. That's how that foot looks. So the river being white and pure and clean, river Ganges, looks like the Vaijayanti flag. Vaijayanti flag is said to be a white flag which is hoisted as a mark of victory. Then tatha, also or further, bhumishtaha anyaha yaha. Bhumishtaha means on the earth. Anyaha, the other. Yaha, that foot. How is that? Bhuvana griha brihat stamba shobham dadhau. That other foot appeared really magnificent and beautiful, like a supporting pillar to the world house. Bhuvana Griha. Bhuvanameva Griham. The world is the house, and that is Brihat. The house is so large, and so Brihat Stambha. Brihat is Stambha, huge supporting pillar is this leg. And because of its size, Shobham, it appears magnificent. Dadhav, that is the vision, appearance. Then, Etau Payojodara Lalitatalau Padau. Now, the leg was described, and then the foot that is jutting out of the leg, that is described. So, Etau Padau is these two sole of the feet, which is which looks like the center of the water-borne lotus. It looks delicate because it is Bhagavan's feet. So, Etau Padau, these two feet. Payojodara means like the central portion of the water-borne lotus. Lalita Talau. Tala is the sole, and Lalita is delicate and beautiful. So, the sole of the feet which are delicate, and it belongs to whom? Pankajakshasya. Pankaja means lotus, Aksha means eye. The one who has lotus-like eyes. Lord Vishnu, Naha Patam. May such feet of Lord Vishnu protect us. Now, in the previous two shlokas, the grace and blessings was received from meditating on the sand particles in the sole of Lord Vishnu's feet, and then the lines on his delicate feet. That was described. Thereafter, now the feet itself is taken up for description and blessings are sought. So, the allusion made here is to the Trivikrama Avatara. Now, because 2 feet are visible, those have been taken for description by Bhagavad Pada in his great devotion. At the time of subduing the pride of the Asura king Mahabali, Lord Vishnu occupied the heavens with 1 foot, and then he occupied the whole earth with another foot. So, Mahabali's head is understood to be pushed below the earth to Patala Loka by the foot spanning the earth in this description, in this shloka. So, the leg extending to the heaven is said to appear like a flagstaff made of blue sapphire stone. And then the foot of that leg gives the appearance of the celestial river Ganga flowing down. Now, Ganga being pure and clean, from a distance she shines appearing white like the beautiful clear Vaijayanti flag which is hoisted on the staff or the pole. Then the other foot which is placed on the earth is said to look like a great huge pillar supporting this large house of the worlds. May those feet of Lord Vishnu, whose soles are very delicate and beautiful, that is the sole of the feet are said to be delicate and beautiful like the inner part of the lotus, and such feet are sought for protection. So, may those feet protect us is the prayer. Now, if we notice, Bhagavad Pada describes Lord Vishnu's feet in great detail. That is, he took the sand particles under the feet and prayed to that, and then he described the lines which were silky lace-like in appearance, and then prayer was offered to that. Like that, almost 8 shlokas, he describes Lord Vishnu's feet in great detail. So naturally, it is very, very significant to pray to the feet of the Lord. And this is brought out very beautifully in many instances in the Purana. I am taking one instance. In the Dashamaskandha of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a Dashamaskandha means 10th canto. In that, there is a hymn or a shloka sung by the serpent wives, Nagapatnyaha. Part of that prayer, there is one verse which is bringing out the significance of the Pada Rajaha, the sand particles under the feet of the Lord. The shloka is Na Nakaprishtham, Na cha Sarvabhaumam, Na Parameshtyam, Na Rasadhipatyam, Na Yoga Siddhira Punarbhavam Va Vanchanti Yat Padarajav Prapannaha. The context is Lord Vasudeva Krishna dances on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and then he makes him powerless. Then at that time, the wives of the serpent praise Vasudeva, and then they say, O Lord, those who have taken refuge at your feet and have become one with the dust under the feet, yat pada rajaha prapannaha, yat pada rajav prapannaha, they will no longer desire, na vanchanti, no longer desire for nakaprishtham, heaven, na cha sarvabhaumam, nor for the emperorship of any country, na parameshtyam, nor for the post of Brahma, na yoga siddhihi, they do not also have any desire to attain yogic powers, and then or even apunarbhavam va na vanchanti, they also don't even seek to pray for ending the birth, ending rebirth, again and again. Na rasadhipatyam, they also don't want the rulership of Rasatala. Like this, they don't want anything. Why? Because they have got the most distinct merger, that is with your lotus feet. The sand particles under your lotus feet, they have obtained, and there they are very secure, and anything that one could wish for automatically will be granted, and finally they will gain moksha is the implied meaning. So therefore, one who prays to Lord's lotus feet, or even the sand particle under the feet, or the rekha, lines under the feet, nothing else is necessary for such a devotee to be attained at all, because the ultimate purushartha of moksha is already granted to them. Such is the greatness of prayer to the feet, the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. With this, explanation for verse 12 is concluded. Namaste.